Hello, thanks for joining us this morning. We're glad you're here. I'm going to introduce my guest and read a little bit about her so that you can know her too, and then we'll hear her story. And so Cornelia Helga Schulze is from Berlin. She's a psychic medium, a spiritual teacher and mentor, and a systemic coach with over 15 years of experience in transformative energy work. She was born and raised in divided Berlin, Germany during the Cold War, and 3 out of 4 of her grandparents' families were forced to flee their homelands during World War II. Cornelia combines her spiritual abilities with family constellations work, inner child work, guided regressions, and she explores the book of life, also known as the Akashic Record of the soul, and uncovering events, emotional burdens, and patterns that are ready to be understood, healed, and released. Cornelia is co-author of the English language bestseller Soul Mission, Leaders Ushering in the New Earth. And she trains aspiring psychics and light workers or energy workers alongside her one-on-one counseling and coaching work that she does. Her website is Cornelia Helga Schulze, and her links, as well as the book, her Amazon author page, are all below in the description. And so, Cornelia, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Yeah, thank you, Carla. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. And would I love to hear people's stories. So I would love to hear yours. Could you tell me like how you knew you were a psychic medium, or when was your first experiences with that, and then how that developed, into the work you do now?
Hmm. Yeah, for many of the psychic mediums, it said it starts, with birth. Yeah, so from the very beginning, and with me too, but I did not know, or I couldn't remember.
Hmm.
So, then in the end, I was in my 30s when it really came out. And it was not just a revelation or so, but when the year I turned 16, I had an accident and I broke my spine, so to say. I had a broken vertebra. And then I had a long journey seeing doctors because I had constant pain.
Hmm.
And the year I discovered these abilities, I had my second operation on a spinal disc, and I could not sleep. And I had a friend, and she came to me and said, "Cornelia, I can do Reiki." And I said, "Okay." But I did not know what that was. So I was interested in horoscopes or lost astrology and such, and tarot cards and so on, but I never heard about Reiki. And Reiki is a healing energy which is transmitted via the hand chakras. And my friend, she gave me a treatment. Yeah, so she held her hands um, and my back. And that was the first night in years I could sleep more than 3 hours in a row. Yeah. And I was so happy about this. And then I thought, I want more of it. Yeah. And maybe my friend should move in so I can have it. Yes, I can have it daily. Or
Yeah.
the other option was that I can learn it myself, but you cannot really learn it. It's an initiation. So someone opens this channel for the healing energy in your energy field. And I did this. I went to the teacher my friend had, and she gave the initiation. And then some weeks after, I started seeing, when I gave it to me or to others, we had a training group, I started to see like short movies. I put my hands there, and then I saw, oh yeah, it's her in danger and she's crashing with the car.
Right.
Not so nice things. Yeah. And after that I was hearing voices. And yeah, so and sometimes think, okay, now I have schizophrenia, or what is it? It was really threatening. Yeah, so I could not hear my own voice. Yeah, so my own decisions. There were so many voices, and so that friend again, she recommended a medium, and I went there for a counseling, and she found out that I have spiritual abilities, or she could see that in my book of life, in my record. And I also saw another person, which I did not know that she had abilities, and she said the same thing.
Mm.
And they both only saw that part contacting the hereafter. So, yeah, talking and communicating with deceased souls. That I did not know that there's so much more to do for me, because sometimes it's just that this is what you can do, and then it's enough. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
quite something, but it just not came down. Yeah, so lightning, thunder, and lightning, and everything dramatic, and then I know, oh, I have abilities or so. Yeah, so it was really frightening because of all these voices. So, and then
Mhm.
I found a way to be only myself, and only to open up when I have my opening hours, so,
Mm.
so that I can think and be a normal person. Mm.
Right. Yeah. Interesting. That would be scary. I meant to hear lots of voices. Like I hear ancestors. I don't hear them audibly. I hear the,
Yeah.
I know what they say. It's like my biofield interprets their thoughts, right,
Yeah.
into English that I understand, and um, I can get different messages, but I haven't been bombarded, with lots of things at a time. That would have been scary to start that way. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I sometimes have the idea that in Berlin there are many people who really talk to themselves. It's not the earpads, so, um,
Okay.
and that many of them might have the same thing, that they really listen to someone and not just
Mhm.
being schizophrenic, or yeah, have another disease also. Yeah, it depends. I found out that one can do this like you do, then it's the intuition that you know. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm also a medium. I can guide souls, deceased souls, as well as living souls, into the light. That there's
Right.
a different meaning in the light, but that
Yes.
light for the deceased is like in any cheesy Hollywood movie. It looks like a light. It's a very high energy channel, and
Yes.
then the soul goes there and goes up
I
in the
have.
divine, to the divine level.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I
I have.
was surrounded by them because I can do this. I can
Mhm.
call this light. I did not know about it. Yeah. And so they were around, and they wanted me to transport them there. Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yes.
Cornelia,
Yes.
please give me a lift. Yeah, so,
Yes. I have the same experience. Yes. Only,
mm,
um, not that I actually see a physical light beam type of thing, but I have a um, positive ley line vortex in my office here where I work, and
mm, mm.
and they were coming to me to transition, or to go to the oneness. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I didn't know. It took
Yeah,
some.
no one could explain that to me. I really found that out on my own, yeah, but only
Yeah.
years later, and then it was not so scary anymore. But in the beginning, when you think, what do they want from me? What shall I do? Yeah, so, and when I watch these TV series, and then there are the deceased souls, and they talk, and then there are not so many. So it's really manageable for the medium there. Yeah, but when there
Mhm.
are dozens or hundreds, and then what should you do? Yeah, so this,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
and there
Yeah.
are not so many people who can really give you good advice on it. So that's another thing. Or when we found out this was 20 years ago, so, or over 20 years ago, then there were not so many mediums or spiritual people around, or you did not know. Yeah, okay, there was internet already, yes, yeah, but
Yeah.
when you remember or possibly remember the website of spiritual people 20 years ago, it was really
Oh,
not very
yeah.
I was confident to go there or to ask approach them for help. Yeah, so everything blinking and oh, the angels and bing, bing, bing.
Yeah.
That was difficult. Yeah, and now it's almost common knowledge that there is something between earth and sky, and it's, I think it's good progress. Yeah, it could be even more. So,
Right. So could you explain how you see the difference between a psychic and a medium then?
in German language, it's the same, so to say. Yeah, you're a
Okay. Okay.
medium, a medium, and then you can contact whatever. Yeah, so it
Okay.
depends. And then I learned that in English language, there's a difference sometimes, not always,
Mm,
but sometimes. And
yeah.
a medium is someone who contacts the hereafter, and a psychic, they have other abilities. And then the psychic abilities are divided in being an intuitive or clairaudient or clairvoyant. You can be an empathic. Is
Mhm.
that a word
Mhm.
for when you
Mhm.
feel everything in your body? This is very stressful, by the way. Yes. So, um, and what else? You know it, you hear it. There are other ways. Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
can. There are these people who touch a thing and then they get the information out of a watch or something dear to the other
Mm.
person.
Mhm.
Um, or you can also be a psychic, being able to contact the souls of animals, for example. Yeah. So, and
Yeah.
then it depends, is it living animals or diseased or lost animals? There are three categories, so to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you had any contact with animals?
A little, yeah. So once I had a client for a contact to the hereafter, and it turned out it was a cat. So I did not know because that soul it spoke to me, so to say. And
Right?
but I hadn't was not able to have a clear vision how they looked. Yeah, I only saw very, very strange boots. And after when he said it's a cat, okay, it was a pause. So, but I thought this is a human being, so that kind of foot or boot, it did not make sense to me. Yeah, but when I know, okay,
Right.
it's a cat, then I can say, okay, I saw pause.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
But
Interesting.
when I speak to them, there's literally no difference between a human soul or an animal soul. You can talk to them. Yeah.
I've done that a little bit. We have dogs. I've done that a little bit. Um, I'm it's not that I don't feel comfortable with it, but whereas for me, contact or understanding the ancestors comes real easy when it
Mm.
came. I mean, when it started coming, then it has been real easy. But animals, I really have to focus and try harder, and so not my
Yeah.
natural thing, I guess. But I can do it to some degree.
Yeah,
Interesting.
but To me, there's not much of a difference. Maybe it's just you have more respect or you expect difficulties or so, but just.
Maybe, and the other thing too, I've only tried it with my own dogs,
Mhm.
and so maybe it's like, I can do biofield tuning on myself or other energy work on myself, um, but it doesn't work as effectively, or if I have a long list of people that, say my family, that I will do that for at different times or whatever, it's like, um, I just, I'm not, I don't know, there's not that connection as there is with a regular client. So I mean, I can do the work and release the energy, but I guess maybe because I'm too close, there's like a block or I'm not pulled there as much. In some cases, I don't know. In other cases, I am, but not with animals.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But when I experience or receive energy work of whatever kind, then I am able to release everything else, and I do not have to be that awake, so to say. Yeah,
Okay.
the conscious part is then really able to relax, and the subconscious part, the bigger one, can take over. And when I do something for myself, I'm both. So the
Hmm.
level of relaxation is not so high. And the
Right.
perception of what I do is completely different. It's I always explain this to my clients. Um, it's like massaging your own feet. Yeah, that's okay, but when someone else does it, it's so much more.
Yes.
So much better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so,
Absolutely. Yeah. For
and
sure.
when I try to receive messages for myself, then I always think, yeah, you make that up. So it's not, it must not be. Yeah, but I have a doubt when I do this for myself, but I do not doubt any of my work with other people. And this is really interesting all the time. So,
Right. Yeah. I
mm,
know what you mean.
mm.
Yeah, I've had that feeling too at times. So I was wondering, is there an overall theme then, or themes of that you hear from ancestors? Something overriding. Of course, it would be different for each person that you're doing it for, but is there overriding themes, so to speak?
Um, it depends. So, many of the descendants come and they feel guilt because they haven't said something or they did not make peace with their parents or grandparents
Hmm.
while everyone was alive. And on the other side, then they tell me, yeah, but we did not know. So there's no need to feel guilty. But we do anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is something
Yeah.
you really have to experience then with that ancestor. Of course, yeah, that this is another dimension. But I cannot say that they're more peaceful, but they have a better overview over the situation. And it depends on the state of development where they're in.
Hmm.
So you go, yeah, you leave your body, the soul leaves the body, you see the light and you go there, and then you're on the divine level. Yeah.
Hmm.
And there um, you have the opportunity to heal and um, to make a review, so to say, of your past, whatever you want. If you do not want, then it's not happening because it's your own rules, so to say. No one orders, yeah, to
Hmm.
look at your childhood or anything else. Yeah, so and some of the ancestors, they're very eager to find healing and to find closure, and others they don't dare because they expect that there's something bad they did most of the times, and then I say, I don't know if I should, look there. It's like we are, if you expect to be guilty, then we're usually not so fast forward to face the situation.
Well,
And
that's
yeah,
what I find of the afterlife, that if they don't finish their journey here or get to the place they need to in their journey here, it continues, right?
yeah,
They just pick
and
up where
so
they left off. Um,
yeah, and then some of them, they really have the overview. They had the courage to look at their issues, and then they're really very positive with the one who asks for the conversation, not in that to say friendly kind of way, oh, don't worry or so, but they're really honest, and they tell, but I don't see this like you do. And
mhm,
many of them, they tell then that the daughter, or the the son, they should just let go
mm,
the problem or the guilt or whatever, and that's the moment where this can happen, when you just know, so to say. Some of us, they cannot really allow themselves to let the guilt go. Yeah.
mhm.
And the overriding things is that most of them are still interested what's happening in the family. Yeah, and not yet just to watch, are they doing it still my way or something, but just to be
Okay.
part of
Mhm.
it, or
Right.
to
Yeah.
have some rituals, walk the dog with with the others, and the dogs or the animals, they can always sense them, and then it's the thing, I can tell them, so, and then they should ask the dog or so if they can perceive it, or also the little ones until 5 years about, so
Mhm.
they
Right.
can perceive if grandma is here, or someone is there, and they mostly enjoy it very much, because then they know this is family and someone's watching, and so, and it's not an easy life. The year after, yes, some of them, they struggle a lot
Yeah.
with their own past, and to forgive themselves, but most of them, they find kind words and honest, kind words for those who struggle with the loss. And
Yeah.
that's always a very nice experience for myself, when I see, okay, and I can perceive healing on the other side, and healing there with the person who sits with me there. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. For sure. Um, so I was wondering, I had another question here for you. So, like you'd said, the messages. So, what is the best message you've received?
Oh, I did not expect a
Well, maybe
question
there
like
is.
that,
Maybe there isn't
but
one. I just something that came to me. Um,
yeah, I cannot really say that there are funny things, from the ancestor, also from your spirit guides sometimes, Um, but the best message is always, when I work with people, and I see how it sinks in, how they understand on a different level. So it must not be something spectacular. Yeah.
mm,
Um, Oh, I'm really sorry.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know
okay. That's
something like
okay.
that. Yeah, but
That's fine. Um, so, like when you see, do you actually see with your physical eyes some of the ancestors, or is it more in your mind's eye, or a
hmm,
combination?
yeah, with me, it's I hear them. I know something, and when they show me things, I can see it, but it's only parts. It's never like a passport, then I can scribe, oh, the nose is crooked and the hair is black and everything. Yeah. But they show me hands, yeah, or feet,
Okay.
or something,
Hmm.
and then I know, okay, there's something about it, so I have to find that out. Yeah. And sometimes it's enough to say, okay, he's showing me the hands, yeah, and it's the honest work with hands, or something.
Hmm.
um and or what they prefer to show me is gardens with flowers and plants and little benches, and I can describe their garden, and then they know, okay, it's the garden where grandma always sat on that bench on that place. And so um and it I know other mediums who can really describe everything, yeah, from the texture of the hair to the shoes, and that's a very special ability. My superpower is to perceive the emotions of
Hmm.
them, and I always thought, yeah, but emotions, who wants to know about the emotions so much? When I, yeah, hear others, and then I say, yeah, and then you have to go to the left drawer in that room, and then you find it, and I don't get such information. Yeah? So and then I joined a workshop a year ago with a very famous medium from the UK, Brenda Davies, and I asked her about that. Yeah, that this is really bothering me, the emotions. And she explained that in that wheel, or this journey of the soul, at the highest point of the development in on the other side, yeah,
Hmm.
there is the emotions are the strongest energy that is existing, and if I have access to that, it is a very high development, so to say.
Hmm.
And I was really happy about that. Yeah, but of course there are people, they want to know something physical also, yeah, and because they need that. I understand it. Yeah,
Especially, I find that if it's say a client who wants to contact a parent that just died or something, then there's a lot more of mm, the daily thing, I think,
yeah,
or than there is if it's been a long time, or if it's further back ancestor or something.
yeah. Um, yeah, and then when they come again, then we're talking about the emotions, and I
Hmm.
can
Hmm.
sometimes really explain. Yes, I know that when you say some difficulties with Aunt, yeah, Angela or whatever, I can literally feel it, and then I can
Okay.
explain that, yeah, or
Yeah.
that they had a very strong and tight bond in their marriage, yeah, the grandparents or so, and
Hmm.
then there's some expressions, and that is also very valuable for
Hmm.
those who are then really convinced that this is possible. Yeah. If I wasn't a medium, I don't know if I'm so sure that this is really happening. Yeah. Okay, it's physics, yeah, or quantum physics. It's possible, yeah, but is that really possible?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a matter of experience. If you really did it once, or you never had it, and then you have to get your information on of books, out of books, or out of the TV or so, and then there's always the doubt. Yeah.
Room for error. Yeah. Yeah, I know it made a difference to me. It was, after I had just started, maybe 6 months after I'd just started or something, and, a lady that I've taken several classes from, Dr. Sue Morter, here in the United States, she's a chiropractor that also does energy healing, and but it was like she was telling you, "Don't you ever doubt your intuition." And it was like, wow, if she says that, I'm going to do that. Right. And
That's good.
it really helped. I'm glad I heard that so
Yeah.
soon in my knowing of the abilities and stuff. Yeah,
No, but she really meant it. So
she did. She did. It was very strong, or at least I perceived it that strong. I needed to perceive it that strong. I guess maybe.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that's most of us. There's always doubt there, or so, and um, no one can tell you if it's correct. So
Right.
there's little teachers or colleagues that can really go into the same situation and get the same information. We all get information in a different way.
We
And
do.
when
Yes.
I
Yes.
say, I make this up now, I'm 50% intuitive, and then I'm clairaudient 25%, and then the rest or so. And there are others, they have a different percentage. And so you perceive this completely different. And the level of vibration you can access is different then.
Right.
So
And we all come with it in our own. We can only see what's happening now with the perspective of the life we've already lived, right? And the
yeah.
ancestral things that we carry. And so we have to all perceive it differently. And sometimes it's very different, right? It seems
Yeah.
like.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah, my own brother, he said to me, I don't know what happened in your childhood. He's only 3 years younger than I.
yeah.
As, and we lived in the same house for 20 years, so, but he doesn't know. And I have to accept that. But that was really funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So was your family very accepting of this when you started?
No,
Yeah.
no. It um, there's a different approach to being psychic or psychic abilities in Germany compared to the UK, for example, or US or Canada, and or even South America, where the shaman work is very well known, and then there's a different collection. But here it's like, so, oh, now she knows everything. I may decide not to talk to her again. Yes. Really, yeah,
Oh, well, I hear
it's
you.
not
Yeah.
just my family. So they're afraid. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yes. Yes.
I have my own theory on that, but no one else confirmed that or did not confirm. But um, with the Third Reich, the Nazi time, people believed in that ideology. Yeah, and then after World War II, on the eastern part or East Germany, where the Russians were the Allied force, then they had a spying system. And everyone had to report on their neighbors, on their brothers and sisters, and so there was no confidence in anyone.
Right. No trust.
So, and now we're here, and how will these people ever believe in that there's something, yeah, between heaven and earth, that is reliable, that is honest? So yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
in
Hmm.
in other countries there's not an experience like that, not
And my,
such mistrust
I find a lot.
on
a lot of people, energy healers, or like I said, mediums, or in the United States that I come in contact with, a lot of us feel that, or um, the families have a long history of, say, religious things, or church work,
Mhm.
or things, and it's like, it's like,
Yeah,
stay
that
away
part,
from me.
yeah,
And I've done the, I still, my family doesn't talk about it. They won't ask
mm,
me how my work is. They won't ask about anything. And if they do agree to want to have me help them with a certain issue, it's like, don't tell me anything you hear.
yeah.
Okay.
It's that's the point. That's the way, but it's hard. I know this. Yeah. So, and you can feel very alone. One could do so much good, but if it's not wanted, then
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. But I understand. So
Well,
mm,
and if it hadn't happened to me personally, if it, say, would have happened to my sister, right, or something, I would have had the same perspective, I'm sure. It's like, what's are you, is this real? It's so different,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, and then we want proof, and the proof is
Mhm.
the thing that shocks us most. It makes us most afraid then, yeah, with who?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. So, um, could you maybe talk some about the different types? Because I was reading your website. You do several different types of work, or with different situations with different
mm,
people, and could they all are using your intuition and your psychic or medium, abilities and stuff. Could you like talk about how you do different things?
yes, my pleasure, yeah. So, um, mostly I do readings. So that's counseling, and with this work, I connect with your energy field, and I always say energy field, but many people say aura, but
Hmm.
the energy field is more. There are all these connections to your past, for example, and this is not in your aura, but most of the people only know aura. I
Sure.
constantly say energy field, and I hope it will spread a little bit. So,
Yeah.
so I can get information from your guides or your angels. I can also perceive information from your body. Your organs can talk to me, for example.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And sometimes there's no differentiation. I do not know, okay, it's guide number one, yeah, or it's this angel. It's just that I know or I hear the answer and then I give it to you. And um, people can ask any question there. It's not only about spiritual development or so. You can also ask questions about your health and of course money, of course. Yeah. So what should I do? Yeah,
Mhm.
to earn money, or what's hindering or blocking me or so. And then as I can actually connect to the body, I can also get information on health situations. And then, okay, I'm not a doctor, but
Mhm.
sometimes people then they give some feedback, and I say, yes, I went to see the doctor and was exactly like you said. And then I think, oh, that's good. She saw the doctor, and not just be afraid and be paralyzed and frozen in a situation
Mhm.
or like that. So sometimes it's not the most convenient answers I get. Yeah. So, and I'm always honest. I'm not so direct. I do not blurt it out. Yeah. But when
Mhm.
there is something, they say, yes, tell me about the relationship. Will we move together soon? And the answer
Mhm.
is, you will not move together.
Mm.
And
Right.
I
Right.
say, okay, no, I don't see that you're moving together.
Mhm.
Yeah, so, yeah, so um, false hope is not helpful in
No,
my
it's
opinion.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not.
So that's one part. So there's a question and I can get an answer. Or when people come and say, can you see something in my aura energy field? Then this is not so precise mostly. Yeah, I can see some colors, or if there's something um I would not say bad or so, but really dense energy.
Mhm,
And this is always not the highest level of vibration. So then I
sure.
have to find out what that is.
Mhm.
If to me, it's really so much easier just to know it or to hear it.
Right.
uh, but I can, when people want that, then I do that. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm,
And for a counseling like this, it's best you come prepared and you have your list with questions, and some are yes or no questions, and sometimes it's really when one question is a no, then the 7 sub questions they're not interesting anymore. So it's good to have a lot of questions. Yes.
that's true. Yeah, very true. I hear you. So, do you think, um this question just came to me. Like, I've done, spiritual hypnosis where I do the
Mhm.
hypnosis and I come with a whole list of questions, and I'm asking of my higher self or the angels or the ancestors or
Mhm.
God source, whoever wants to bring me that answer,
Yeah.
right? And and so I do that to receive answers. So that's similar then maybe to what you're doing, only you can see it for the people instead of them um,
Yeah. Yeah.
seeing
It
directly,
sounds
right?
like
Kind of
th-
maybe.
that would, yeah, it's, I don't think it's so important to know who tells you that. That so
Right.
it's
Yeah.
just it's an information, and um w- you always have more guides, or I call it a team. You have a team there,
Hmm.
and there can be your ancestors in the team, yeah, or it can be angels or guides or other light beings, and maybe they have a speaker. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I know um, from colleagues that they experience their team of angels having a speaker that has only one voice, yeah, so to
Okay.
say. Yeah.
That makes sense because um really they I would think they would mostly, if they're all in the oneness, as I call it, if they're from the highest source, right?
Mm.
Then most of the time they should have the same answer, shouldn't they?
Yes. So if there's one message to give, you can give the message in different ways, but the core
Yeah.
or the content should be the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think
And
so. Yeah.
sometimes when people ask that question, and the second question is the first question, but only a little bit different. Yeah. So, and there is the same answer, but maybe in a different wording to understand it better. We're
Hmm.
really humans. We really have problems to accept something when if it's new, or if we were hoping for a different outcome or
Yeah.
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then another phrase, or another, when you put it in other words, then maybe it's more understandable, and not just from the logic meaning, but yeah, with your emotion and your heart. And so
Yeah.
it should be the same content of the, yeah, so it's not one's a yes and then the other thing is a no, and it's the same
Right.
thing. So then if I did not experience that, but if that ever comes, I will have to ask, what, yeah, why is that so?
Yeah.
And sometimes when I can perceive that that answer is not what they can deal with or so, then I can ask, yeah, how can we how could you explain that better to them? And then I give that um, just a little bit more. You know? So
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Mhm.
depends. Sometimes it's a very short answer. Yeah, so 3 words or 4, and some of the helpers they um it's very long. Then you have to not lose the track, so to say. Yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
that it depends on who's asking. Some of them they need short answers, and
Mm.
some of them they need a little bit more explanation, a little bit more around the core information. Uh,
Yeah.
and
So I
it's
was.
it's
Mhm.
to me it's really difficult when then I come, yeah, but when will I meet my next partner in life? And then it's I have to be honest. I know that there are people who can really say a day in the
Mhm.
future, but I cannot.
Mhm.
So um, I can tell you it's not this year or it's not this month or so. I can feel the energy then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And when I ask them, is this year or so, then the energy feels higher or lower. And this is so difficult to explain. And I guess it's difficult to understand for everyone. Yeah. But
Well,
I have a feeling, okay, this is now or this is longer. And then I know, yes, since I do this for 15 years, a little bit longer. Universal timing can be very long for humans on Earth. And so I always ask, yeah, well, what do you mean a little bit longer? Yeah, or not now, but soon. What is soon in
well,
our
exactly.
yes?
I mean, I knew I got this thing years, 3 or 4, 5 years ago saying I knew this person, I would meet him in the future. I didn't know who it was,
Hmm.
but it was a man that came to me 3 or 4 times from the future. And so a year and a half ago, I was at this place and there was lots of it was like a Indian burial ground type of place, and there was
Hmm.
ancestors all around. It
Yeah.
was, um, and it was like I had this knowing, it was like, "You're gonna meet me soon. I'm gonna meet that person, that man soon." And it was like, "It's been a year and a half. What's soon?"
Yeah, they have no time and space, and
Yeah.
that's the
Mhm.
problem. And then even when I ask, please tell me in Earth time, so to say, this is what I say.
Yeah.
Then then it's a bit difficult to just nail them. Okay, it's December or so, but there can always be something that postpones it, and even it's the willingness. So if it's too soon for someone, then you can literally change your old soul's plan. Yeah, so
Mhm.
then it will not happen in December, but maybe then next the year after.
Right. Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
when
Very,
you're
very
not
true.
ready to meet what was that? Someone you know from a soul you know from a past life or so, because you're so afraid. Then it's really possible to not meet. Yeah, to you
Mm.
will meet in the end, but not at the predicted age, so to say. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
that's that's possible. And
Mhm.
for us here, it's so important to know what will happen next month or
Mhm.
during the year or so. Will I be alive in 10 years or so? But
Yeah.
it's that's for our helpers in the spirit world. It's not important. And it's really such a
Yeah.
different point of view. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the here and now counts, and this is something I can tell myself, but I'm human. I cannot really believe it that it counts if I feel good today, but will I feel good tomorrow? So
Right.
will I feel well tomorrow? Or what is
Right. Right.
yeah, we're
Cornelia.
really very human. Yeah, we're so
Yeah.
afraid, and I cannot say that I'm excluded just because I have all the information. It's like we
Right.
said earlier, that information for myself is this something really difficult to get or to believe. Yeah, oh, this is too positive, it cannot be true. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Someone in the chat asked a question
yeah.
for. She says, I come from a long history of trauma in my family history. I've survived a lot, but I choose to forgive. How do I release fear of the future and gain greater faith?
That's a good question. um, when I hear, I practice a lot forgiveness. It is very, very good, and it's very brave. Yeah, so congratulations. And then I would ask, did you forgive yourself that you put
Mhm.
yourself into whatever situation or two, or did you chose this family with all the problems and conflicts and everything? This is a part where we really often forget to forgive ourselves. Yeah, and I do a little ceremony, and I touch my heart chakra, and then I say, I forgive myself having put me in this situation in the first place. And sometimes that means being born into this family. Yeah. So I go back to the start, to the decision when I decided, okay, this is, yeah, my father and my mother, and we're forming that family right now. And this gives me immediately a feeling of safety. So, and maybe this could be something for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, um,
And sometimes the family constellation work helps with that too, does.
yes, it's very helpful. It I found that 20 years ago, and it was already known in Germany, but not really openly practiced or so. Um, there you can see these energies that are between people over the generations also. Yeah, like transgenerational constellation.
Mhm.
um, and I can give an example. I always was afraid of my great grandfather. I met him. He died when I was 6 or so, and I don't know. Even as a child, I was afraid, and I carried that memory of being afraid, yeah, to him for decades. The I just remembered. I just remembered it was not so long ago I solved this problem. Yeah, and in my family, it was not common to talk about what they were doing and what was my grandfather doing for a living. I did not know.
Mhm.
So, and that has to do with the war. Yeah. So what were they doing in the war? And yeah, so secret, family secret is
Mhm.
also
Mhm.
a good thing to explore in family constellations.
One
And
thing that I find with ancestors is like they're often they're often very apologetic. They really, really regret doing what they've done, if it hurt the person,
hmm,
because they get in the afterlife and they have time to look at their life, right? And it's like I get that from ancestors quite often. We're so,
hmm,
so sorry we forgot. I mean, not forgot, but what we did, what we did.
yeah,
And I think that has made some of my clients feel better. I mean, it was able to help in their healing process and in
yeah,
knowing that there was and I'm sorry, please forgive me type of.
yeah, yeah. We do not, we cannot imagine what impact our acts have. Yeah, and we do not expect that. And then when they see, and yeah, like contacting the ancestors or doing a family constellation, when they see that there's an impact over generations, then you can be really afraid and sorry. One quickly made decision goes all wrong.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So, but with that family constellation, and then I had a session with that, and I would ask my great grandparents then there, and I wanted to know why I am so afraid, and there was something, some overlay, so to say, something we could not really find out what it was. And then the colleague that did that with me, when she put that away, I could see a nice man. And it was so encouraging.
Mm.
Oh, I have nice male ancestors. So,
Oh, that's beautiful.
and
Yeah.
yeah, so sometimes can be so relieving then to see, okay, there's something I was I really put on that face, so to say, on that perception of my great grandfather, but it did not even belong to him. It was just something else. And so,
Hmm.
um, yeah, it's
Yeah.
that is a great method, and I'm so happy it evolved a bit, that it's not only about honoring the parents as it started in Germany. It was all about, yeah, the children have to honor the parents and everything, but what if the parents were really bad to their children? Then I have to honor them. And the method then was not to let them go, just to live with it and sit with it, and not to say, okay, you're my parents, but I don't need you anymore. I'm a big girl now. I'm 55, and you can do what you want or so.
Right. Um, hmm. What I find, it has really helped me in my struggle, and maybe this would help the listener too. The I felt so separated during my life because of
Hmm.
traumas that I as little kid, and then I didn't wasn't able to voice them or anything, so I just felt separated kind of. And it's made such a huge, wonderful difference in my life to know my ancestors are here. And when they cross over, they have the mindset of God, and they want to help, and they're very active in helping me in my life. And um, it's like a built-in support system, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
And that has made a big difference in me. Once they go to the oneness, their mindset changes.
yeah. And then the moment we learn that we do not have to inherit the trauma, the transgenerational trauma, but we can give it back. And for them, it's not something bad, but something that belongs to them. It's their, um, it's what they wanted to experience in their life. That part of it, yeah, just make that, yeah, as a whole, that's so to say. And when we pick out a part, yeah, just to make it easier for them or so, this is not our problem, and we do not have the solution in our way for other people problems.
Hmm.
So, and then when we design and find the courage to give that back, this is just like a missing piece of a puzzle. Yeah, so, and mm, generational trauma is here, and we experience that, and it gives us the possibility to develop a little bit more. But then it's really good to um, make a difference between my trauma and what I originally want to experience and theirs. and that's always very helpful to give that back. And one can do this without even a family constellation. You can write that on a piece of paper and burn it for transformation,
Um,
or
I
just put a
yeah.
little rock and hold it in your hand, and yeah, give the with the intention to put everything that now is possible to let go in that stone, and then you put it somewhere, a holy place, or um, in a little river or so, where there's a constant flow of air or water, and then can be cleaned, and the energy can go where it belongs to. So little rituals. You see,
Yeah.
trauma of our ancestors is something that makes us really stronger, yes, but we do not have to carry the entire thing. That's that's understandable, but in the end, we do that. Um,
Yeah.
and in one of my other services I offer, it's called an analysis, and I ask question and let my guides help to pick the answer from your energy field, so to say. Yeah, because I have a deeper understanding. It may sound a little bit vain, but I can perceive things on another level. And because for every one of us, we get an information we can handle, but we can manage. But if it's a very strong information, maybe we cannot handle it, and then it will come later or maybe never. Yeah, but when you have someone like me, I can get all the dirty stuff if you want to. Yeah. So, but I can explain that, and in 99%, I know what to do with it. That's the other thing. So,
Mhm.
yeah, and so I can check the energy field. Is the flow correct? Yeah, and are there like energies like curses or voodoo or whatever, is that
Mhm.
somewhere in you?
Right.
In it,
Mhm.
I go check on a timeline, and I check the childhood and adolescence. Is there anything that is still active? And it must not be a big thing. Sometimes these are little misunderstandings, what you as a child or young person um, didn't get right, and it hurt you very much. And then it forms your entire being because you want to avoid it or attack it or whatever reaction you have on that. Mm. Um, so when children have to listen to their parents arguing all the time and maybe very loud, then there's always ways to react to that. Some of them, they are very quiet, not to be a burden.
Mhm.
Some of them, they are very happy, yeah, just to distract the parents. And then there are the others, the clowns, yeah, and then there are others, they make their own conflicts. So they're also distracting. But this
Right.
is not like a normal happy childhood. This is just a reaction. And then this continues in your life because this is your trauma response
Mhm.
system, so to say. And it always finds situation where you can find a better version of that response you have, and but not really relaxed, so to say. So I can go on the timeline and say, okay, between 3 and 4 there was something, and most of the time I get a little information what it was like. um yeah, the father threatened to leave the family, and whatever, which is not, for us as an adult, it's not that complicated or so. But for a 3-year-old, this is really traumatic. Yeah, to know that one of the parents is not there. Also, um,
Mhm.
death, yeah, or so. And then I also ask, what is there with your parents or step parents? Is there anything you have to resolve? Are you connected energetically in a really unfortunate way for yourself? You can be connected like in a spider web, yeah, and then you always feel there's always a bond, but it's not healthy for you because you give your good energy away or you take I cannot say negative energy from the other. In the worst case scenarios, you give your good energy away to support, and then you receive that what the other cannot really cope with. Yeah. So, um, and also I check the past lives. Do you know your parents
Hmm.
from past lives, and or do you know someone else from a past life that is here right now, which causes something stressful, or are you connected to a partner from a past life? And that can also be very, very stressful and traumatic sometimes. Uh,
I
and when
Yeah.
you come back and have, uh, last time I did that, it was last week. So it's the fourth life with the father, and then I
Oh.
described when and what happened, and so and then the client said to me, "Oh, he didn't change much."
Ha.
So, yeah, so and now they're together for the fourth time. This is
Wow.
maybe now is the time to say, okay, yeah, this is the last time we meet. Yeah, we had our chances, and it's not so easy. Yeah, but you can work on this. That to just um, to dissolve that. It's like a treaty. A contract, sorry. Yeah, so
Well, yes.
to give up that contract to meet again and again until it's good. It will never be good because over the
Yeah.
centuries life changes, the situation is never the same. And if it hadn't been good for 3 lifetimes together, then maybe you could focus on something else.
Yeah, I get the feeling that, when that happens, that because they come from the oneness again, right? And so they would have had the mindset of God again, or the good
Mm.
mindset. So they choose to come again with pure intentions of this
Yeah.
time they're going to help each other, and this time it's going to be different.
Mm.
And then you get thrown into your life situations that everybody is, and by the time you're born, you totally forget everything that you knew about the oneness, and you're just dealing with being a person again, and you have to relearn everything. And it's like, they meant good, but like you said, after that many generations, cut the soul contract.
Yeah.
That's what I do, soul contract work.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. And the thing is, you can cut it, but sometimes there's such a strong responsibility to not let these people down or so. I have to support, I have to do this. Otherwise, the other will die or whatever we have in mind. Yeah. So when you cut that literally, then yeah, it's an expression of, of what you want, but inside there's a, oh no, when I cut this, then he will really die now. and, and then you can rebuild it. You can rebuild
yeah,
these bonds.
I figure,
And
yeah.
most of the time it's not only one, it's two or three or more. Yeah, just out of your bad conscience.
Yeah, so
Feeling unwell
yeah,
with that. Yeah.
right.
So if that works with the cutting, then everything had been settled before. It's perfect. Yeah, but for some, it's really like these. I once listened to. Um, it's a spiritual leader in the U.S. and she had a freebie of 4 minutes cord cutting, and then I thought, what? And
Hmm.
then people who listen to that, they really believe that in 4 minutes that can be done without any work before or after. So, yes, so if
Yeah.
if you
That's
really
true.
um, if you really succeed with that, it's perfect, yeah, but it's very unlikely that it really works, yeah, for me.
Right. A lot of times for the soul contracts, I've had to come back again to it, like I'll experience something else or,
Yeah.
have that reaction or know it's that antagonist and with the
Mm.
other and cut it again and cut it again type of
Yeah.
thing. Hmm.
Yeah, it's we
And
need
eventually it
to
goes.
reassure ourselves that we are allowed to do that.
Yeah.
And then we are used to, yeah, as we're born as humans in a family, we have to ask for permission. But yeah, in the oneness, and I'm the maker of my own history, so to
Hmm.
say. It's
That's right.
me. I have to allow myself, and that is sometimes a problem. That's a big problem. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is. Like you talked earlier about the forgiving yourself.
Yeah.
That's a big problem with us.
Yeah.
I mean, well, so many of us carry that.
Yeah. And it's forgive myself even if I had done something really wrong or so. And then it's so much easier, even if that's difficult enough to forgive someone else than to forgive myself. And I have something wrong and I think, no, I should not do that, but now it happened. Yeah. And then to say, yeah, okay, I'm good with it. Yes, that is quite the work. So, but it's really good to do this um, more often. Yeah, just to forgive myself if I
Right.
felt uncomfortable or I hurt someone or I hurt myself. Yeah, even on an emotional level. Yeah, I should not have gone there and let that other person shout at me or so. Yeah, I shouldn't. It happened now, and now I forgive myself. But that is really not so common, and so it's will take a while with that more people do that, but it's very very effective when you find that um, when you find that way to connect to yourself, to forgive yourself. Well,
Yeah.
then
Yeah, for sure. Well, Cornelia, would you like to have something um like a last thing you'd like to tell people? We're after an hour now and we've had a great discussion and tell people how to reach you or any last bit of wisdom, whichever one.
yeah, thank you. So you can reach me via my website. That's the most effective way. There's a contact form, and there's so many information. If you have a question, then you can just use that contact form and ask me. You do not have to book me. Yeah, so I'm open for questions too. Yeah, and if there's one thing um, I like people to take away from our conversation is that many of the things we struggle with don't mean that there's something wrong with us. Yeah. So very often the things we struggle with, they make sense when we look at them in a wider angle or from another perspective. And we have a lot of perspective in a family or the ancestral context. We can approach this in a different way. Um, and that kind of awareness alone, yeah, not even with work, yeah, but awareness alone can already bring relief, and healing must not necessarily have to be dramatic or painful. It can be gentle and respectful, and
Yeah.
as our ancestors can be. They can be dramatic, yes. It's mostly what we know from when they're living. But then on the other side, they had a little bit time to reflect and grow, and then there is much more respect for everything and everyone. Yeah. And when we understand what truly belongs to us and what doesn't, a lot of energy becomes free again. And that makes
Mm,
us really stronger and healthier. And that feels better. More energy, more high vibrating energy is really a very good thing to live in. And then you can share it.
right. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. So we'll end with that. And if you'd like to hang on, Cornelia, just a little bit after we end, and we'll just say goodbye now to everyone who
Goodbye.
watches. Thank you. And be sure to check out Cornelia's website and her other social media posts. The information's down below. Thank you.